Alright, Hotel California by the Eagles. I love this song, and my mom loves this song. She likes this by the Eagles. Anyway, I'm going to get right into it, but before I do, I'm Finbar of Finbar Bass. Please click on my little tutorials right down there in the YouTube text box. Those are not on YouTube. Other than that, let's get on into some Eagles, baby! Alright, so right in the beginning, there's some kind of longer, drawn-out notes. It's easiest to play this song if you think of it running kind of like the whole neck of the guitar. You're going to start on the 7th fret of the E string, right here, right, and then you're going to play on the 9th of the A string. Now, what that is if you consider the 7th the root, the 9th, that's going to be the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, just like that. But you don't have to think about all that. All you have to think about really, that's just optional, that thinking. You can just think 7th fret of the E and 9th fret of the A. Now right there you're going to the, you're going to do that same pattern, right? But you're just moving it down a whole step. So you start on the 7th fret, right? And then you're going to move down to the 5th fret. And when you have to hit the 5th fret, you're going to hit the 7th fret of the A string, right? So you can think of it like you're starting on the 7th, then going to the 5th, then of course you go down to the 3rd, right? And then it deviates a little bit, then you're going to hit the open E, and then the 2nd fret of the E string, right? And that's that whole first part right there. But it's important because it's kind of like the entire song is based on that movement right there. So again, I'll play it quicker so you don't have to just sit here and watch the whole thing at normal speed. Open, and then that 2nd fret of the E, which tells you something's happening. Something's going to happen here. I feel foreboded. Now, what you could do, if you felt like it, if you didn't want to move your hand all around, there's kind of a more efficient way of playing this. But I don't really suggest it, especially for beginners, because like I said, the rest of the song is kind of based on where your hands are here. But if you feel like it and you want to do this more efficiently, of course, you can. Instead of hitting on the 7th fret and the 9th fret, right? You're going to be hitting on the 2nd fret of the A string and the 4th fret of the D. So you see, they're the same notes, right? Just played on different strings. So that would be 2nd fret of the A string and 4th fret of the D, right? And then you got the 5th fret of the E, which is where you would have, the 2nd place you would have gone to. Same actual fret right there, 5th fret of the E. But instead of having to move your hand up to here, you can play that note right there. So that's going to be on the 2nd fret of the D string. So you got, and then the 3rd part just like normal. And the 4th part I showed you just like normal. Open, E, and then 2nd fret of the E. Just a different way of playing it with your hand in the same place the whole time. So the verses follow the same pattern, really, as what I just showed you. Now, and what I just showed you was you're going to be playing 7th fret first, right? And then the 9th fret. So what you're going to do in the verses is instead of just playing the 7th fret, just straight up a note, you're going to be kind of following a chord pattern. Right? See, this would be considered the chord right there. You have the root, you have the 5th, and then you have the octave. If I did the major scale there, right? So that's the chord pattern, but you're not going to be hitting it as a chord. You're going to be hitting each individual note. And that's kind of the pattern, but as you're going to see, as I'm going to show you, you're going to change that pattern up so you don't get bored playing that same pattern over and over again. So, but what that is, the main basic pattern, I would say, you're playing 2 notes on the 7th fret, right, of the E. Then you're going to play 1 note each on the 9th fret of the A and the 9th fret of the D. Right? Then you're playing this number here. What that is the 9th fret of the A, 9th fret of the D, and then go back to the 9th fret of the A, and then back to the root, which is the 7th fret of the E. So in all, 2 hits first, remember. That's the basic pattern. You could do that pattern with each one of these chords if you want to. You don't ever have to deviate from that. Okay, so now you notice when I showed you that first part, you were starting on the 7th fret and then you hit the 9th fret, right? All right, well you're going to do that same pattern that I just showed you, right? You're going to start on the 7th and then you're going to do it on the 9th, just like you did in the beginning there, hitting the 9th. Now you're going to play the pattern on it. Just like that. And there's all different ways that you could jazz these up, as I'll show you. But one thing you could do is you can between these between these patterns, right? There's the first one. You can hit a little ghost note and then hit the open A. And it sounds good if you hit that open A before you go into the... Right? So I'll do it real slow. And it kind of just fills the space a little bit. But again, you don't have to do that at all. You keep it as basic. You could flourish this as much as you want. Right? So then, where you're going to go? You're going to go to the 5th fret, just like we did in the beginning. Right? See, I'm on the 5th fret right here. Start on the 5th fret. And, you know, you can change these around as much as you want, flourish them, make them as basic or as extravagant as you want. That's one of the things he does to change it up. He doesn't go back to the root, I think, here. Instead of... Right, so you're staying on the 7th fret right there. And then after that, of course, you're going to go, see, we were on the 5th, and now, of course, we're going to go to the 7th. Right? And then where are you going to go after that? Well, obviously, we went 5s to the 5th to the 7th to the A. Now, we're going to go to the 3rd of the E. Just like this is following the same pattern we did in the beginning. Right? And then from there, of course, you see this 3rd fret of the E. Now we're going to do its 5th and go down to the 5th fret of the A string. And then from here, we did the open, right? So you do the same thing, the chord with the open. The pattern is the same, it looks a little bit different. You're going to hit the open, and then you're going to use these 2 notes right here, the 2nd fret and the 2nd fret. Just like that. And then from the open, we're going to go to the, from the open, we're going to go to the 2nd. Right? Now, this one is kind of like the characteristic sounding riff in the verses that you can hear on the bass. So you probably don't want to deviate from this one too much. Right? So he kind of drones on those too. And I'm hitting the 2nd fret of the E twice. Then I'm hitting the 4th fret of the A and then the 4th fret of the D. And I repeat it twice, just like that. So that's pretty much the verses right there. Right before it goes into the chorus, what's going to happen is when you end up on the 2nd fret of the E, remember when we went, well, for you that was just a second ago. Well, this time you're not going to hit that last fourth fret and then fourth fret. What you're going to do is you only hit that once. Then you're going to pause, and then you're going to do this number here. Right? And that's going in, that's how you lead into the next section, the chorus. So it would look like this. And what that is the second fret, fourth fret, and fifth fret of the A, followed by the fourth fret of the D. Pause. And now you're up to the chorus. The chorus of the song is pretty sweet. What you're doing is you're kind of hitting these, you're kind of sort of just like we were before when we were hitting the chords like that, but we're going to hit it in reverse. Right? So you're kind of doing this chord on the third fret of the E string, but in reverse. So you're going to hit the fifth fret of the D, fifth fret of the A, and then E. Just like that. And then after that, you're going to hit the fifth fret of the A string and then the fifth fret of the D string. So it looks like, excuse me, whew. So it looks like this. Right? Then the next time you're going to do that again, but then you're going to do this number here. So if I do that slow, you have. And that brings you into the next chord you need right down here. So what I did there was, I hit the fifth fret, third fret. Then I heard the fifth fret of the A, followed by the fifth fret of the D. One time, two times, and on the second time, very quickly, what you're doing there is you're hitting, I hit the fifth fret of the D, right? Then you're going to hit the second fret of the G string, fourth fret of the G string, and then slide that all the way up till you're at the seventh fret of the G string, right? And then you're going to make that chord. So if I do it, try and do this slow again. It's pretty sweet sounding, and you can hear that slide if you listen to the studio version. So then you're here. And what I'm doing here, this chord is I'm hitting the seventh fret of the G, seventh fret of the D string, and then the fifth fret of the A. Right, following our kind of like hit the chords in reverse style situation that's going on here. All right, so you're on this chord down here, which is seventh fret of the G, seventh fret of the D, and fifth fret of the A. Right, and then you're going to do the old. Okay, so I'm just alternating between the seventh fret of the D and seventh fret of the G. So you have. And then what you're going to do is you're going to slide that down to this note, the fourth fret of the D. And then you're making that chord right there. So you're hitting the fourth fret of the D, fourth fret of the A, and then second fret of the E. So you slid that down, and then of course you do the alternating between the fourth frets of the A and the D string. And then you're going to slide that down, and then you're going to hit this number here. Right, that probably sounds familiar to you. So you have. And that's second fret of the A, fourth fret of the A, and fifth fret of the A, right? And then a little bit faster, you're going to hit the second fret of the D, and then the fourth fret of the D. So you have. With that chord progression, you're going to have. Just like that. So the chorus repeats the first part of the chorus when you're all the way until you're up into this seventh fret and the fifth fret. Right? Now normally there, like the first part of the chorus, you slid down to the fourth fret. Right? and did that. But now this time, the second time he does this, you're going to go all the way down to the 2nd fret instead of the 4th fret, and you're going to do that chord. So that would be 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 2nd fret of D, 2nd fret of A, and then open. And then you're alternating on the 2nd fret. And then go to the 2nd fret of the E, 4th fret of the A, and then 4th fret of the D. So you have just like that. And then it goes back into the verses. So right at the end where you hear the bass ramping up there, basically what you're doing is you're droning on the 9th fret of the D string. Right, and then 2 kind of slower notes at the end there. If you listen to the song, you'll hear where it is. And then the 9th fret, and then you move, same pattern, you move it to the 9th fret of the A string. And then you're going to hit the 7th fret of the D string. And then the 7th fret of the A string. Just like that. So you're here, here, and here, and here. And then, of course, you go to the 5th frets. And then you're going to go slide up to the 7th fret. And then the 9th fret, again, of the A string. Alright, Hotel California. Bringing it to you. Excellent bass line, super fun to play. Fun song. Everybody knows that bass line. Everybody knows pretty much every note to that guitar solo, even. You could be hanging out in a store or wherever, and this song comes on, and people will actually be humming the guitar solo because they know every single note of it. But anyway, very recognizable. I am Finbar of Finbar Bass. Please click on my little bass tutorials right down there if you want. They're free. They don't cost anything. They're not on YouTube. All you got to do is just click the little clicker box right down there. Other than that, you could always subscribe to Finbar Bass. I believe it's right up there, but they move it sometimes. And that's the way that you can subscribe to my Finbar Bass channel. Other than that, thank you so much for listening and subscribing and for all that good stuff. And have fun with that.